All right. That was from me. I just put a testing thing here. So Adrian wants to know what time is Hastings getting it. Um, and I just went through it again. So we're probably looking about between 10 and 11 o'clock just to be safe. So hopefully you're still here, Adrian. Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you being here, of course. So, Sandy, appreciate it. Thanks for the comment. Get a little choked up, you know. Don't never like it when somebody passes away, and don't like getting on my Facebook feed and the timeline and seeing obituaries. Just whether I know them or not, you know, loss is hard. So anyway, don't want to make it about me. Just it's a sad deal. So anyway, not to be insensitive, obviously, but here we got. Let's see, 3/4 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and expires in at the bottom of the hour. And this is obviously for parts of Dawson County, as well as the northwestern section of Buffalo County. Not very impressive here, which is good. Hey, if we can just get some decent rain out of this and stay away from the severe weather, I don't think anybody is going to complain here. So I'm definitely all for it. So yeah, Patty, sometimes yes, sometimes no. I mean, everybody says, well, the storm split and go around Hastings. Well, you can say that for almost every town, I mean, if you live somewhere long enough. So uh, we'll, we should get rain out of this, And one thing I'm noticing on the radar, and I'm going to put it in motion here, and I want you to pay attention to right around Caro, this blue line right through here. That's outflow from the storm. So we may start to see an increase of intensity here, at least with these winds coming out of it. And we can inspect that coming up here. Now, those white lines that are all over the place, those are storm motions coming out of the storm. I may turn those off here because sometimes they get a little irritating, but we're not going to worry about it just yet. But you can see how this outflow, is starting. So for folks that are in let me draw it out so you can see it here. Right here. This will be moving out ahead of these storms. All right. So hearing about the storms are moving there, you see, just saw it updated. Hearing about the next 15, 20 minutes, maybe you'll start to see when that line pushes through Wood River, Alda, Shelton, Gibbon, Grand Island, etc. We're going to see those winds kick up right along and behind it. So we'll be watching for that. I'll be watching for that. I don't know why I keep saying we, but I guess we're all going to watch it. So we're doing this together. How's that? So that'll be something interesting, to see if we see an increase of these winds here. Let's go to our other tool. There you can see here on again when we look at the colors, the reds, the greens, the reds, the pinks, the reflectivity, that's the rain, the hail. This is what we're looking at. And again, this is velocity. One of the velocity products. We're looking at the wind speed and direction on this. And right now, that's all you need to know. But you can start to pick up this, on this, you can start to see that outflow boundary here. And of course, you can see it moving this way. Using a mouse to draw, hence why my arrows are so poor. But if you ever wanted to know about what direction, again, there's the radar. See, I'm out far enough. There's the radar you can see in Blue Hill. It's right down here. Okay, and the green colors are moving towards the radar, okay? And the red is moving away. So the red in this case would be inflow into the storm. That would be the warm, moist air coming into the storm. And the greens would be the outflow winds coming towards it. Did I say that right? The red's going into the storm, feeding it the warmer, moist air, and then the green coming out would be the cooler, drier air. And again, so remember I said that we'd watch this outflow boundary, the outflow coming out of the storm, and we'd look for, or I'd look for any signs of stronger activity out of this. Well, let's talk about that. So now we know the proximity of where the storms are relative to the radar I'm using. And so this is the area we need to watch right here. Because you can see a little more, intensity coming up where these colors are getting a little lighter. Now, again, it's nothing to get overly stressed out about just yet, but we're starting to get a couple pixels here that are in the 50 mile per hour range, 40 to 50. There's a couple pixels just over, so it's still sub-severe. And just for my giggles, and Terry, I'll get to you on Wayne in just a second. Give me about 30 seconds. So again, we're starting to see a little, I hate to use intensity because I don't want to embellish it any, but we're looking about 4,000 to 4,500 feet up into the storm here. So, but it looks like because of that outflow, it looks like we're seeing, as I said, a little bit of strengthening there. So will be that area we need to watch. All right. We got that. Let's go. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's go back to reflectivity here. Okay, here's Wayne. Let's go back to the Omaha radar. Now, Terry, you're not in a severe thunderstorm right now. Warning, but you do have this northern line of storms coming at you here. All right, so I'll put this in motion for you, and it is moving. It is moving towards you. You can see the storm track there. So right now, you could expect about 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, maybe some small hail. But at this point right now, there's no warning on that. So again, this particular warning over here for Stanton, see coming out of Madison, let's just go to the text itself. So it's part of Madison, Cumming, Wayne, Colfax, Platte, Stanton counties. Let's see here. Moving at 40 miles per hour. So it goes for 24 minutes. So that would be bottom of the hour. And 3/4 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds. So Cassandra said in Ravenna, just rain started coming down, some good wind, nothing crazy. Randy, where's Brant Stoke area? I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart on that. Help me out. Randy and Lynn, is it, or Grand Island? I think Renee, we're going through it right now. You got the storms knocking on your doorstep. Right now, there are no warnings on that, on these storms. There's nothing, but again, one thing I'm watching here, and of course I got to go back to the radar here in Blue Hill, but you can expect this particular area here, right along this line that's starting to sink down towards you. It's pretty close. It's within about 5 to 10 miles. That's moving down towards you. So, and you can expect some 40, 50 mile an hour winds there. Hang on, I need to get caught up with the weather service here. You know how stuff goes, computers, technology always seems to work when you don't need it. Well, almost everything's working, but one of my computers is kind of crudding out on me here. So, weather service confirms what I was saying about that line I just underlined here. Now I'll circle it. About 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts, winds behind that line. So once it hits, it's knocking on the doorstep of the Highway 30 corridor, from Grand Island down to Buck Kearney, almost Elm Creek. So once that happens, you'll see the winds picking up. Okay. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. Okay. I wanted to double check something. So, okay, you're at Brandstoke. Okay, I got you. I got you. I thought that's where you were. I just wanted to double check it. Um, so you're up here. There's Brandstoke. All right. I'll zoom in so you can see it. There's Raymond. There's Brandstoke. Are you in a, Matt, you're debating on putting the car away. If it makes you feel better, just do it. Don't even think twice about it. And, if nothing happens, don't worry about it. So, anyway, here's a look at where storms are now as to compared to where you are. And I tell you what I want to do for you. Randy Lynn. I assume that Randy, is that your husband's name? Is that a joint account? Are you Lynn or is Randy your first name? Forgive me, don't get mad at me. I don't want to assume. I'd rather be dumb and ask you. A lot of folks have husband wife accounts. That's why I'm asking. So nothing wrong with that either. So let's get to Lincoln. And here's Raymond. Here's what I want to do is I want to actually I want to measure out. I'm going to this view, and you'll understand why here in just a moment. So here's where you're at, right? And then we can go from here. And those storms are 51.3. The leading edge are 51.3 miles per hour, or excuse me, miles away from you, not miles per hour. They're 51 miles per hour. Uh, they're 51 miles away. God, I'll get it. I'll get it. So you got some time anyway. All right. Right now, the part of the storm that's just starting to approach Columbus, um, there's no warning here from Silver Creek to Duncan to Columbus. This part of the storm is, but that's moving more towards Hooper and Nickerson and let's see, Tacoma, Blair. We'll see if it scrapes Omaha, but again, we're seeing some bowing with this up here. Again, it's got a history of 60-mile-per-hour winds, uh, so we'll see how things go down here. But I like to use this particular product when I'm measuring because it's really slick in terms of giving you uh, the exact reference. Okay. Next question is regarding Overton, which we're going to go to, but we don't need that. So we'll use this tool. Getting to Minden as well. So trying to cover the whole state. So yeah, just asking ye shall receive. So here's Overton. You're just outside of that warning box, the polygon. But you do have some hail that's kind of pushing down towards you as well. So there we go. There's again, that storm's moving super slow. All right. It's just pushing through Lexington now, but you're not in a warning in Overton. But you can at least, if there's no warning that gets issued there, you can expect probably winds 40, 50 miles per hour in that area. So again, here's Minden, and here's where the storms are. So you can see that they are moving down towards Minden. So most of these storms right now are, and of course the time is about 9:13 here on Thursday night. So we'll see if these storms strengthen. Right now they've kind of been marginal at best, which is a good thing, right? But we're watching this here. And I know people are coming and going. A lot of people give me crap. Well, Tim, you keep saying the same thing over and over. Not only do you like to hear yourself talk, but you just repeat yourself. Well, the way this works here is that people are always coming and going. They take a look at the radar, they pop in, they want to see what's going on for their town. A lot of folks asking, what about my town? So I tell you, and they might pop out for a little bit, go on with their lives, and then when the storms get a little closer, they pop in and stay, and storms clear, and they pop out. So that's why I repeat a lot of the same information over and over. And trust me, I don't like to hear myself talk, but I'm also not interrupting America's Got No Town or whatever your program is, because you're all here because you want to be. And I'm not forcing you to be, because I'm not on a network station. So anyway, there you go. So Becky wants to know about Aurora. What I just circled here is, of course, the leading edge or the outflow from these storms. So once this hits, and it's just starting to hit, probably up by Northwest High School in Grand Island, and of course, just knocking on the Wood River, Gibbon, Kearney, Elm Creek. It's through Elm Creek now. Shelton, just knocking on your doorstep. So again, it's not Armageddon, but you'll at least get 40 to 50 mile per hour winds once that hits, and you'll know it because the winds will pick up. So there is that. If you haven't figured out by now, I'm kind of a smart aleck. That happens, All right. So let's see here. What other? Terry wants to know about Wayne. It's just knocking on your doorstep there, bud. I mean, you should be getting at least some light rain right now. So the heavier stuff is just off, a mile away or so, depending on what part of town, within a mile or two. So again, you're not in a warning. So let's see what we got here. You're not in a warning. So there we go. So again, you probably get 40, 50 mile an hour winds out of this. And maybe some small hail, but that's how things look for you right now. Again, there's where Wisner, storm's moving through Pilgerstanton. Again, this goes until another 13 minutes or until the bottom of the hour, 3/4 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds. Moving towards West Point. Let's go to the other radar source. Let's see here. That's not what I want. And let's do some measurements. For those who are anticipating these storms to come in, this is one of my favorite things to do because it really does give you a good idea. Now, we're using the Omaha radar, all right? So let's just measure some things out. So people watching, again, there's Wayne. That heavier rain is just knocking on the doorstep. But for folks that might be watching here, maybe in Beamer, the leading edge is just 8.6 miles away. If you're watching at Maple Creek, you're about 11.8 miles away. West Point, leading edge of West Point, you're about 11 and a half miles away. Scribner, looks like about 23 miles away. Hooper, storms are 27.6 miles away. Nickerson, 33.4. Yeah, we can do this all day, can't we? And it's good because it gives you a good idea. Storms moving at 40 miles an hour. So it gives you a real good idea of what to expect. So again, let's have at her. Let's do it. Storm from Schuyler is about 16 miles away. Probably come up here for North Bend, 26 miles away. Probably if I'm going to Bennington, I'm probably going up here ish. And we're looking at about 52 miles away. And then from Omaha, west side of Omaha, maybe Gretna, Elkhorn, things like that. We're looking at 65 miles away still. Blair, we're looking at about 48, 49 miles from Blair still. So let's see. Let's can that. Let's go down the way here. And let's look. Now, this is not severe warned here. Megan just went through Grand Island, but if you just joined me, I'll get to it here in just a moment. Just knocking on your doorstep, but I had some questions about the eastern part of the state, so I'll get back here in just a second. It'll be quick. From Silver Creek, where that leading edge is, Rising City, we're looking at about 21 and a half. Valparaiso, about 46 miles. If we go down to Seward, we're looking at about 46 miles or so as well. So we'll get back to that. Hopefully that answers those of you who are wondering. Let's go to Lincoln here real quick, and then we'll get back to the central part of the state. But here we go. Looks like still about 73 miles away from Lincoln, the airport and downtown and all that good stuff. So gonna leave it here with this. We'll get back to that. I find that tool very helpful, and I hope you do too. But now we have, okay, now we're back to this reflectivity. And okay, so we have a new warning that just came out, and we need to go back to the radar. So Kearney's under a warning. Here's Grand Island. Let me just back up here so you can get the wider view. This blue line, let's start off with this because we got away over the eastern part of the state, which is fine. Everybody deserves to have the same fair coverage. That is the outflow from the storm. These are winds coming out from the storms here. At the very least, they're 40 to 50 miles per hour, but it looks like the part of the storm moving into the Kearney area is producing a little stronger. So that's what we want to focus on here just for a moment. So if you're in Grand Island, Wood River, Gibbon, and now Kearney, you should feel some stronger winds right now. The hail isn't much of a threat out of this, 3/4 inches in diameter and 60 mile per hour winds. So 60 is the lowest threshold for severe criteria in terms of wind criteria. So again, strong enough to be severe, and again, I'm not trying to downplay it at all. But it expires in 39 minutes. That would be top of the hour, 10 p.m. So I would say, storms are moving on track about what Futurecast depicted a little earlier. I think it had going through Kearney about 10 p.m. That's why I said you got to plan ahead a little bit. Looks like it's going to hit Kearney here about the next 15, 20 minutes. And or sooner. So that's why, not a surprise Futurecast kind of running ahead, or the storms are running about 30 minutes quicker than what Futurecast depicts. That's not about right. So, yep. Kelly says it's rolling into Kearney. Now the storms, the rain is still back, about 5-10 miles, 10 miles or so, but you can probably feel the winds pretty good right now. And in that area, we're probably getting some 60 mile per hour winds in that pocket. But again, I would anticipate that we'll start to see a little bit of strengthening here around that Highway 30, Interstate 80 corridor. So yeah, Randy, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for everybody checking in. York's checking in as well. Let's see, Mick, appreciate you being here. You still got a little bit of time now. The storms up to your northwest are non-severe at this particular point in time, but you have a little bit of time here before you need to start worrying about. Let's see, about it looks like we're about 32 miles away here. I don't know if you can see that on the screen there, but I'm just measuring from York proper, about 32 miles away here. Got a new warning out now that we need to go to, and that's back up here in northeast Nebraska, eastern Nebraska. So let's get on that. This is an extension of the last one. And first of all, folks, the reason why this is, the reason why we're getting the extension of this particular warning is that's where the Boeing's going on right now with this storm. And when we get the Boeing, here, it's just like a bow and arrow. You pull that back, and you get that pressure. The pressure being that sinking drier air mass coming down from the higher levels of the atmosphere, and then of course it hits the ground and spreads out. But anyway, let me clear this off and get to the warning itself. So again, hail not an issue with this. 3/4 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It expires in an hour, so looks like it's going to go to the bottom of the hour, 10:30, even though it goes until 10:15. Excuse me. Southwestern Burt County, southern Cumming County, Colfax County, Dodge County, and southeastern Stanton County. For those of you watching on your mobile device, you probably can't see that. That's why I'm reading it out. So if you're trying to watch on YouTube, we had some issues with that. So I don't think YouTube is functioning tonight. But if you don't have the Roku app, just search Nebraska Weather TV and you can certainly find it. So Chad wants to know what are the chances for hail and should we expect the wind and rain totals? Well, right now we're looking at wind speeds potential. We haven't seen anything in eastern or central Nebraska, south central Nebraska, more than 60 mile per hour. Now, this afternoon in Thedford, we had 80 mile per hour winds, but the watch indicates that we could see winds up to 75 miles per hour. Right now, hail's not an issue. 1 inch or less is what I foresee going forward, depending on where you're at. Now, Hastings, here's where the storms are. The next thing we'll be watching for Hastings is this blue line here that's right down Highway 30 from Grand Island to Wood River to Kearney and beyond, and that is that outflow coming out of the storm. So if I measure this from Hastings, it's about 18 miles away, give or take, and these storms are moving about 40 miles an hour. Let's double check the language on that because I actually haven't checked it lately. So let's see here. Now they're moving southeast at 20. I'm glad I checked that. So we have a little bit of time here. Oops, I'll clear that out. All right. Okay. It's not clearing out for me for whatever reason. There we go. All right. Apparently I'm new to this. Chad, you're welcome. Kimberly, we still have a little bit of time before the storm. Oops, I don't want to draw. So from Hastings, that outflow boundary, as I said, let's be safe and call it about 16 miles away. The rain itself is about 34 miles away from Hastings. Of course, Minden, this morning's knocking on your doorstep. We do have northwest Kearney County. We've got part of Gosper County. looks like, as well as part of Dawson County, and of course we have Buffalo County on this warning as well. So again, we're looking at 60-mile-per-hour winds with this. Let's have a different view on this, and let's just take a gander at what the wind speeds are, and we're going to do that by going to velocity. Uh, I there might be a few. I'm just not. And again, folks are probably saying, "What in the Tim? What in the tarnation are you looking at here?" Well, here we're looking up into the storm. Anywhere from 3,000, about 3,000 feet, and we can confirm this by just going to the Blue Hill radar and look at some of these storms. Here's God, I can't even see that. 3,000, 5,000, 3,000 here. So, you do this long enough, you kind of know where the beam height is relative to the area you're surveying. But if we go over here by Caro and look at some of these lighter colors, at least we're looking 3,000 feet off the surface. We've got a couple of pixels here that of outflow winds. The green blows towards the radar of upper 50s to low 60s. There's a couple of pixels in here that are getting into 62 miles per hour. Now that's 3,000 feet off the surface. Doesn't mean it's translating down to the surface, but so this could be our next warning here for parts of maybe Hall County. We'll see. But now over this way, I'm not getting a whole lot of indication over here with some of this activity, so I'm not going to spend a whole heck of a lot of time on it. I'm going to go back to reflectivity. You know what? In fairness, for those watching in the East, let's give you guys some loving again and see what we got. So here we got some pretty good winds in here. Around Madison, we're getting, this matches the warning. We're getting some winds, 60s. Here, if you can see this, my measuring tool, again, we're looking 2,000 to 3,000 feet, probably 3,000 feet up into the storms here. We're looking at, between 50 and 65, maybe a couple pockets of 70. So this particular part of the storm, from Madison to Humphrey, back by Clarkson up to Stanton, not so much Pilger and Wisner. Beamer, but if you're in Dodge and Maple Creek and Scribner and North Bend, and maybe even getting back to Valley and Omaha, we'll have to watch that, as it gets closer to you. So we'll keep an eye on that. I will keep an eye on that. We'll all keep an eye on it together. How's that? So let's go back to reflectivity. The rain, the hail, all that stuff. Osceola. So you're not going to know that you don't have any Polk County, no severe weather right now. You could probably anticipate maybe 40 to 50 mile an hour winds in that area. The hail hasn't been a big deal thus far. So when just knocking on your doorstep without, it looks like, well, it looks like that rain's just a mile or two away. The heavier rain about 3 to 4 miles away. Well, there's there you bring in your sections. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Rain looks like it's about 2.5 miles away. The heavier rain still looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 miles away. It's moving southeast. It was moving at 30 to 40. Now it looks like, depending on what part of the line, the eastern part of the storm is moving about 30 to 40. The western part by the Tri-Cities is about 20. So let's back out give everybody here, I'll go full screen, get my mug off, and we'll give everybody a nice big view. I need to just step away for like 1 minute. So I'm going to mute the microphone, and I got weather radio, and I'm going to turn that on for a minute. Give me about.
Observed 116 miles an hour from the south. Sunset tonight is at 8:53 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:32 a.m. You are listening to NOAA Weather Radio, all hazards, station WXL 74, broadcasting on a frequency of 162.400 megahertz from a tower near Giltner, Nebraska. The station provides 24/7 weather information for the following 12 Nebraska counties: Adams, Buffalo, Clay, Fillmore, Hall, Hamilton, Howard, Merrick, Nance, Polk, Sherman, and York. Programming originates from the National Weather Service in Hastings, proudly serving south central Nebraska and portions of north central Kansas.
All right, I'm back. So one thing we got to point out is we've got an extension to the severe thunderstorm watch for Omaha and into western Iowa. So let's get at her. And this makes sense given. So far, I'm going to have to adjust it. Don't be surprised when I come back on camera because I want to stand here for a little bit. Oops, wrong remote. I know that's a little scary. There we go. All right. So the last version of Futurecast I showed, admittedly, has not done a good job in terms of where that bow is. It had it placed down further down here, kind of between York and Seward and back in southeast Nebraska. And as it stands right now, it's up here. And I'm showing the radar, and you're looking at me. I apologize about that. So, oh boy. Live TV is fun sometimes. So, again, for those of you who have been here for a while and I showed Futurecast, we may have to go back and revisit it. But, Blair, some of these counties that are just added on, still for another 3 hours. Till 1 a.m. So it's just like the rest of the watch now. You can see some of the northern counties that were in it, like Garfield, Burwell, Broken Bow, Custer, Ord, Valley County. Some of those counties have been trimmed back. So as this moves through, you'll be in the clear. So just keep that in mind. And God, I hate to say the worst of it because as it stands right now, we still have language 60-mile-an-hour winds. If we continue to see this bowing structure here, here we could see a little bit of intensity, but as it stands right now, 60-mile-per-hour winds are not. They're a lot more doable than 70 or 80-mile-an-hour winds. So, blowing your little foo-foo dog around, might mess your hair up if you just went to the salon, knock over your garbage cans, minor stuff like that. Usually doesn't take trees down, doesn't take power out typically. So if we stay at 60 miles per hour, that's doable. But again, I'm not trying to downplay in any way, shape, or form that it's not a big deal. So we need to watch. There's 2 areas we're watching now. We've got basically 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that you can see. Okay. One from West Point down to about Columbus, the other one from Kearney back to Elwood. That does include so that's Phelps County. I don't think I mentioned Phelps County earlier, so I apologize. Let's go back over this. 60-mile-per-hour winds. It expires in 23 minutes. That'd be the top of the hour. We're pushing 10 o'clock, or we will be pushing 10 o'clock. But we've got parts of Kearney County, Buffalo County, Dawson County, uh, Gosper County, as well as Phelps County. So if you're in Holdridge, those Stry and Loomis, the winds are probably hitting you now. If you're in Funk, they're just coming down. Same with Axtell, Minden, they're still about 5-7 miles away from you. And when I say those winds are coming at you, we've seen this outflow expand. And it's really starting to take shape here. Right down here. See that? So where I drew that line, hi Roxanne, love you long time, hope you're well. Hope you and the fam bam are doing well. So that's where those stronger winds are. Now let's get rid of it. And that is that outflow. So when that line hits you, that's where the stronger winds are going to be, right behind that. And it's displaced from the rain itself. The rain is still far, you can see where the rain is. The outflow is here. That was nice. And then the rain is back here, huh? So anyway, Bertrand's getting some rain. Again, the warning on this is still for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Then we do have this activity back this way that is just kind of sitting there. This is back by McCook, Indianola, and, but that hasn't produced any warnings. So, again, storms are pushing through Polk County, Osceola right now, moving into Stromsburg. Chapman, you're about to get it. Somebody asked earlier about Aurora. I'm so sorry. I think I overlooked you, but those winds are knocking on your doorstep. They're through Marquette right now. The rain is just pushing through Central City and Marquette and in Merritt County. Same with Chapman. Grand Island should be getting decent rain now. Most of the city, all does well, but the storms are moving towards Aurora now. If we get into our sections, you may not be able to see it, but there's your sections. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's call it about 10 or 11. The leading edge of the rain is about 11 miles to your northwest. Phillips, it's real close to you there. Let's see. 1, 2, let's call it 3 to 4 miles. So Donovan, you should see the winds picking up here pretty darn fast, eh? Let's take a look to the north here. Let's see if I've got, it's dark. Hey, who made it dark? Let's see if we can see some lightning. This is the airport in Hastings. There we go. We got to put her up. Yeah, Randy, I bet it feels pretty good there, huh? There you can kind of see there's some lightning right there. So just move that camera up. Nothing overly impressing just yet. But again, we'll keep an eye on it as it comes. We're looking at the airport here in Hastings. So there, the radar. Well, see, I'm not on the radar, so you won't be able to see that. Let me go back to the radar. So the radar just updated. Let's get back over to our eastern friends here. So you can see the little yellow arrows there. That is the direction of the storm itself. Just kind of moving, North Bend's in the warning, Hooper up to Oakland's in the warning. Webster, you should just be getting some stronger winds. Scribner knocking on your doorstep. Skylar, that heavier rain is just banging on your door here. Columbus, you're getting rain. David City, it's just about your turn. Uh, Wahoo, it's moving towards you. And of course, Valley, you'll be next, and so is Beddington and Gretna and all the good suburbs as well as the metro itself. So those of you in Lincoln and Seward and York, it's knocking on your doorstep. You're next, but you don't have a warning in that area, just like in Polk County. Seward, nothing for you, nothing in Lincoln, at least moving towards you right now. But at least you got some rain and some breezy conditions coming at you. So we got a big void between, say, Columbus down through Grand Island. And then, we got the one warning up to the north and another one down to the southwest. So, we just kind of wait and keep an eye on everything. We got rain and we got a good rain. So, as these storms push through and you're in a safe place and you can go out, if you got a rain game, just let me know what you got. Happy to get some amounts. And, I think we're all just kind of desperate for some rain here. So it's a good chance to get it, especially with no severe weather or very little severe weather. So, again, there's that warning. This warning goes for another half hour. That goes until 10:15, 60-mile-per-hour winds on that. Looking down the line here, that outflow is just to the northwest of Hastings now. Kennesaw, you ought to be feeling it if you're in Kennesaw. Juniata knocking on your doorstep. Should be much cooler in Doniphan now, and it should be pretty breezy right now. Giltner, you're on the doorstep. Aurora, it's close to you as well. I would think that your temperatures are going to drop a good 5-10 degrees, and some of that humidity should evacuate as well. All right, Bill, hope you enjoyed the wind and pea-size hail. That sure is better than baseball-size hail, I'll tell you that much. Oh. So, guys, can you see my radar? Because I'm confused about something here with what I'm seeing on my screen, my streaming screen. I think I'm going nuts. Of course, you probably already know that, huh? But I got to check something. I got to check the live feed. Okay, you can't you? Because what's showing up on my screen is totally different. So it looks like you guys are seeing it. Wow. I'm really not losing it. I don't think. Let me just make sure I got this muted out. All right. Good. You guys are seeing everything you should be seeing. That is a significant relief for me. Okay, good. Thank you very much. So and the reason is I've been having some YouTube trouble. That's why I wanted to double check. So I'm really not losing my God-loving mind. So anyway, Kennesaw, you should be getting hit by the winds now. We're very, very close to it. Juniata, knock on your doorstep. Same with Minden. Axtell, it's basically here. And that's that line going through right here. That's the outflow out ahead of the storm. You can see if I put this in motion right here, you'll be able to see that sink into the southeast there. That's that outflow. The wind's coming out ahead of the storm. So you're going to get wind. You're going to get wind first, and then you're going to get rain. And the rain's about 10 miles back behind it. So just letting you know that. I know we're bouncing around quite a bit, but we got 200 miles in between severe thunderstorm warnings. And just rain in between. So here's where we're looking with with West Point down through down to Schuyler. If I put this in motion, you can start to see that same deal happening here. You can start to see that outflow getting out ahead of it. It's just starting to separate itself a little bit. I'll draw it out so you can see it, but it's right in here. You know, it's all that we got. It's a horrible line, but you get the idea. So it's just starting to separate itself and starting to blow itself out, so to speak. So, you know, when we see a bow like this, you know, it's almost like a whoopee cushion in a way. You fill it up with air without the fun noises and everything. Unfortunately, you know, when you sit on it and all that air comes out of it, then the storm is almost like a whoopee cushion. As you blow it out, that air comes out without the fart noises. And then that air rushing out is that gust front coming out ahead of it as we see some collapsing from the sinking and collapsing from the upper levels. So, doesn't always happen, but when you see that, we see a weakening trend with the storms a lot of times. So we'll see what happens with this. But again, and that is the case here because you know as I draw this outflow boundary out here, you know, look what's happening, especially here. We don't have any warnings going on. All right, now we do over here, um, but you know we're not seeing a whole lot of outflow back Central City to David City, but you know that's a lot of times that happens. So no power 4 miles east of Walmart, south in GI. Good to know. Boy, it didn't take much because you guys shouldn't be getting. Lori, thanks for that report. Let me pass that on to the Weather Service. 4 miles east of Walmart. Are you Walmart or are you Phillips over there? So I was just sending this on to them. Just pushing that on. You're Phillips? Okay. Okay. Appreciate that report. So that would be right in there. Let's take a look at that. See what we got for winds over there. Not much. Wonder if that was that accident related or what. Well, anyway, you know, here's looking at some of these stronger winds right here. Just having a look see here. These are back up around Gibbon, Shelton. We're getting those winds right in here between 57 and 62 miles per hour. Come on. And some other pockets back around south and southwest of Elm Creek. So we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, nothing super, you know, mind-boggling here. Yeah, that outflow boundary's coming through Trumbull. It's just knocking on the Hastings doorstep. So if you're watching from from Laughlin or up by the airport or Kennesaw, you're clear of that now. Next thing for you is rain. Juniata, you should be getting increased winds. Same with Minden. Here's that severe thunderstorm. We'll see if if this severe thunderstorm warning gets added on to for the rest of Phelps County, it's kind of angling towards Hastings a little bit, just at least the eastern side of it. But we'll see if it gets extended down to Harlan County as well as Franklin County. So we'll see about that. Okay, let's go back and check on our friends to the east here. Okay, so here's where we're at with this. Bill reports light wind and just a nice rain now here in northwest GI. Good, good. We'll take it. That's always way better when that happens. Always way better. So we're getting close to Fremont, North Bend. You're in the thick of it. Hooper, you're getting close. Wayne's just getting some light to moderate rain. Pender's getting some heavier rain. Bancroft, it's knocking on your door. Oakland, it's knocking on your door. West Point's in the thick of it. 60-mile-an-hour winds, maybe some pea-sized hail and heavy rain, at least moderate to heavy rain. Same with Scribner. Same with Webster. North Bend, it's there. Fremont, you'll be next. Same with Wahoo. It's arcing back to the southwest, but the worst of this is between Oakland and North Bend. And when I say worst, I mean worst, quote unquote. But it is tracking towards the metro. So we'll see what happens with this. Again, not much in between here. They're not moving very fast. Let's put this in motion. We'll go from Pender down to Osceola for now. Then we'll look at the western part of the state. I don't have wind speeds for you. You tell me, because I don't know where I don't know every measurement everywhere. I know that outflow boundaries had a history of 40 to 50 mile an hour winds, and that's it. But we don't have any sensing equipment, or at least I don't in Juniata. And honestly, Randy, I don't know everything everywhere all the time. So that's why I rely on you folks to tell me what you got. So, yeah. So there's a look at the animation of the radar, at least this way, up around the east. Then here's a look at that animation here. Let me go full screen. Get me off of there. Time to sit again. My rump must be getting bony or something, which sure the rest of me certainly isn't. But I digress. Let's see if we got her where I need to be. I'm going to come back up on camera, and I'm going to be, I'm barely. I'll have to fix it. Here we go. Let's get her done here. That ought to do her for now. Good enough, huh? Yeah, Chad, you're right. It is slow moving. Just trying to, I'm using my phone to read the weather service chat here. So yeah, I think I'm up to date here. All right. So no wind, just mild rain in Osceola. That is good to know. That is very good to know. Well, it looks like the cameras are moving around a little bit here. This is at the airport. Maybe a little rain starting. Can't really see much because it's dark. We could probably go check out. Let's check out downtown Hastings instead. You can see some clouds back there. You know, it's not like we've never seen rain before, but it's always good to have a good look outside. We don't have to get too nutso about it. Let's go full. Making sure my mic isn't muted. That happens. Now storms are starting to hit Hastings, and so everybody's blowing me up when they should know I'm live. Just turn on your phone, buddy. Watch. Is the wind bad where, Jeremiah? Well, just tell me where you're at. But if you're in the Tri-Cities area, the winds, at least for the warning, none of the warnings have been over 60 miles per hour. If you're in Grand Island or Hastings, they're just about 40 to 50 miles per hour, and that's about it. So we'll call that a mile. I mean, we get wind gusts on that in a normal day that are worse. So, you know, not to downplay, but this is mostly rain. Might get a little pea-sized hail out of this, but you know, definitely. So good news here. Back to the east, we have not seen a reissuance of this particular warning. Looks like two-foot diameter tree down in Norfolk. Let's see here, 926. I don't see any message from the Weather Service in Omaha about reissuing. They would have done it by now, so we might luck out on this with getting away without this storm getting any stronger. So that would be good. So now, you know, so there's the strong winds. Our winds should be picking up here in Hastings. Henderson, they're moving towards you. The rain's in Aurora now. You know, now we start to look for this outflow. And just look at that big, long green line that goes between Henderson and Aurora back down to the southwest through Hastings and Minden and back to Beaver City. That's where the winds are, 40, 50 mile an hour winds or so. And then the rain's back behind it. So it doesn't mean it won't be breezy or windy back behind it. But Sutton, Geneva, Clay Center, Fairfield, Edgar. But hey, at least we're getting some rain out of this. Does anybody have a rain report up to the north? Grand Island, you probably would, maybe Loop City or St. Paul, Broken Bow, Ravenna, maybe. Come on, speak up. I need you. Step up. So we're just kind of waiting. Now you can see that this severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled. So, folks, boys and girls, oh, God, I was going to say, we only have one severe thunderstorm warning going right now. And that goes for another 14 minutes. That's a 10:15. And I think it's pretty telling when it hasn't been, and there it goes. Boom, it's gone. So here we go, folks. We have no severe weather going on right now in the state of Nebraska. How about that? So, you know, I'll tell you what, you want to get more severe weather, I could log off and save you some time and just call her good night. Because I'm not going to sit here and cover non-severe storms, but I'll guarantee you the second I get off air, they'll be back. So we'll hang for a bit. Yeah, just wait. The winds came through. But yeah, with the rain's back behind it. So let's see how we're looking outside here. I can hear some thunder now. That's positive. So there you go. Things is quiet. Got any questions? Jeff says, "Do we need the moisture? We always need the moisture, don't we?" Yeah, we're still. I haven't looked at the drought index in a while, but yeah, we definitely need the moisture, bud. Cheryl says it's thundering, raining, lightning in Palmer. Appreciate that. No, we're not doing much here. No severe weather. I'm going to give her a couple more minutes and I'm going to bail out. Then if there's one more severe thunderstorm warning, I'll post it on Facebook. I'm not going to come back for one severe thunderstorm. If we get several, I'll come back. But uh, I've been on air for a while, so about 2 hours now. This old man gets tired. Get tired of yakking. Bob, you're welcome. A lot of good questions, a lot of patient folks. Appreciate her. Appreciate it very much. Ooh, I get a little yawn here. Well, should we call it a night? I know I'm about ready. Lori, don't ever rely on sirens. They're not meant for people inside. They're meant for people outside. So, yeah, always have a couple sources. So, especially at night, get yourself a NOAA weather radio. So, yeah, I'm old and seasoned, a lot of both. So again, we're still in a severe thunderstorm watch, but we are severe weather free right now. Here's my guess, though. Storms get into the metro area, they'll probably reissue. Probably not, but you never know. Let's have another gander at something. Ugh. Don't know where that came from. So this interests me here. Right around that North Bend area. '55, just south of North Bend. Still below severe criteria. Right in here. It's close. So, we got about 50 to 58 mile per hour winds here. Let's put this in motion. Right here. Sorry, Brandy. Didn't mean to make you yawn. So I want to make sure that these winds aren't picking up here, but let's go back over here. Let's look at the rain first. Okay. Right along Interstate 80, looks like there's some couple pockets of mid 50s winds, that is. They're close here, north of Axtell. Marginal. Yeah, we're looking at a couple thousand feet up, about 3,000 up that way. But I want to make sure there's nothing imminent with reissuance of any warnings. But for now, we're clear. So with that, I'm going to sign off, folks. So if I sign off, I guarantee you there'll be more warnings within 5 or 10 minutes of, I don't guarantee it, I'm joking, but wouldn't be shocked if there was another warning or two after I sign off here. So it looks like part of the severe thunderstorm watch got trimmed back. Looks like for, let's see, Dawson. Looks like we're all getting trimmed back here. So, all right, folks. Looks like we're good for now. Appreciate y'all watching. Enjoy you. Appreciate all of you. Hope you like the great customer service, if you will. Do me a favor, make sure to, if you don't have the Roku app, Nebraska Weather TV. And you can watch that way too if you want to watch on your TV instead of on Facebook. But yeah, appreciate everybody. Please support our sponsors, our advertisers and sponsors. That's a big deal as well. So once again, it's a big loss this week with Ken Boughton passing away, a longtime forecaster here in Nebraska. Those of you from Central Nebraska know who he was, passed away this past weekend. Very sad. He was a legend, still is a legend, always will be a legend here in Nebraska. So, Ken and family and friends, prayers with you and Godspeed.